Christ, adapted from the Gospel of Mark. After the birth of Jesus, 3 magi visited Herod.
Where is he?
Who are you looking for?
The one who's been born King of the Jews.
I am the King of the Jews.
We saw his star rising in the east. We want to pay him homage.
Herod, as king of the Jews, was frightened at the possibility of someone taking his place of power. He ordered his men to find where the anointed one would be.
Go, Magi. Go to Bethlehem and search for this child, and report back to me once you find him, so that I, too, could worship him.
The Magi found Jesus and brought him gifts. But they did not report back to Herod because of a dream warning them of his evil intentions. Joseph was warned in a dream as well about Herod wanting to kill Jesus, so he, Mary, and Jesus fled to Egypt. Herod was determined to stay in power, and when baby Jesus was not to be found, he ordered that all boys in Bethlehem under the age of 2 to be murdered. In the city of Jerusalem, 2 days before the feast of the Passover, Jesus was with his disciples.
And so it is written that I must suffer and die in order to save you from your sin.
Jesus challenged the religious authorities for their self-righteous attitudes. Angry and threatened by Jesus, Caiaphas, a high priest, and other religious leaders met to plan his death.
Jesus of Nazareth must be silenced.
We'll do whatever is necessary. Everywhere he goes is a crowd, not far behind him. They listen to his foolish talk, and not to ours. We can arrest him. He can rot in prison, and no one will ever be able to hear him.
Yes, I suppose we could.
That's a great idea. That'll put him out of action. Wait. We can't do that. If we arrest him, there will be a great riot. His followers will be outraged.
You're right. We must be smart about this. We will wait for just the right time to get rid of this man.
And so it was. The religious leaders decided to wait before trying to get rid of Jesus. Meanwhile, Jesus and his disciples traveled to the east of Jerusalem to a city known as Bethany. They arrived at the home of a man named Simon. Now Simon was a Pharisee who did not like Jesus. The Pharisees have appointed themselves as guardians of Jewish religious law and believe that their interpretations are the only truth. But Jesus has chosen to give his own interpretations, which threatens the power of the Pharisees. So Simon has invited Jesus to his home with the hopes of catching him saying something blasphemous, which will lead to his arrest. Simon demonstrates his contempt by not being a good host. Jesus has walked in miles of dust wearing sandals. Simon did not provide him with water to wash his feet, as was the custom. A woman named Mary Magdalene from the city of Magdala enters the room. Mary Magdalene has a bad reputation and so it is odd that a woman of her nature is in the home of a holy Pharisee. But it is Simon who has invited her this evening as part of his plan to trap Jesus. Little does he know, however, that Mary Magdalene has become a follower of Jesus and believes in the love and acceptance he preaches, which has encouraged her to change her ways.
Look what she has done. How dare she?
Well, wait, that perfume could have been sold and money given to the poor.
There would have been enough to feed many people, you selfish woman. How could you do such a thoughtless thing? God will surely punish you for being so stupid.
If you're a prophet, you know who and what this woman is.
Simon, do you see this woman? I've come into your house as a guest. You gave me no water to wash my feet, and yet this woman wiped them with her tears and dried them with her hair. The woman who she was is no longer, for her sins have been forgiven, because she has loved much. He who has been forgiven little, loves little. Your sins are forgiven because your faith has saved you. Now, go in peace.
Mary Magdalene never returned to the life she once knew. Meanwhile, Judas Iscariot has left in a hurry to find the religious leaders who want to get rid of Jesus. He knew they would be interested in what he had to say.
There's a knock at the door. Who could it be?
I'll see.
Quick, let me in. I have something you need.
You can't come here without an explanation. Who are you?
My name is Judas. Judas Iscariot.
Say that as though it should mean something to us.
I am a disciple of Jesus of Nazareth, the one you want to kill.
How do you know we want to kill him?
This has made fools of you. I'm very kind. You cannot stand till someone get the better of you.
So why are you here? Why would one of his disciples want to talk to us?
Jesus has made a mistake. He's not doing things according to my plans. He's not the Messiah I thought he'd be. I want to help you. Help you arrest him.
Oh, really?
Yes. I believe it's the only way.
The high priests were pleased with what Judas had to say. They promised to give him money for his efforts. Judas began to look for opportunities to have Jesus arrested away from the crowds. It is now the festival of unleavened bread, when lambs are killed for the Passover meal. Jesus is with his disciples, and they begin to ask him questions.
Jesus, where are we going to celebrate the meal of Passover?
Yes, Lord, where will we gather? We have no house or building to stay.
A kind man has given us a room to use for the evening in Jerusalem. John, Peter, go ahead to find the room and assemble the meal for us.
John and Peter did as Jesus requested and found everything as Jesus had told them it would be. Soon, the others arrived with Jesus.
Friends, I have to tell you something. One of you who's eating with me now will betray me tonight.
No, Lord, that cannot be.
Surely you don't mean me, Lord.
It is one of the 12, one who dips bread into the bowl for me. The Son of Man will die, as the Scriptures have said he would. But it will be terrible for the one who will betray the Son of Man. It would be better for him if he had not been born.
Ask him who it is. Lord, who is it?
Surely not I, Rabbi.
It is you who will betray me. What you are about to do, do quickly.
Judas steps out into the night. Both he and Jesus know exactly where he is going. Jesus once trusted Judas and called him his friend. But so often happens when money is involved, friendship can quickly disappear.
Tonight, all of you will run away from me and leave me. The scripture says, God will kill the shepherd, and the sheep will all be scattered. But after I race to life, I'll go back to Galilee to meet you there.
No, Lord, I'll never leave you. Even if the rest do, I will not.
Peter, before the rooster crows 2 times, you'll have denied me 3 times.
No, Lord, I'll never deny you, even if it means I have to die myself.
Yeah.
The evening is late, but Jesus and his disciples still travel. They walk across the Kidron Valley to an olive garden at the Mount of Olives. Jesus knows that the disciples are tired from the food and wine they had earlier. Still, he asks the disciples to stay alert and be guardians as he finds a place to pray.
Stay here while I pray. My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow. Stay here and keep watch. Father, everything is possible for you. Take this cup from me, yet not what I will, but what you will.
Jesus knows that he will die. It will be a bloody and excruciating death on a Roman cross. The people who have heard his words will see him be humiliated. After praying for about an hour, Jesus returns to the garden. He finds the disciples sleeping.
Could you not keep watch for 1 hour? Stay awake while I return to pray. Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done. Rise.
Greetings, Rabbi.
Do what you came for.
Jesus of Nazareth.
I am he. Put your sword away. Those who draw the sword must die by the sword.
It is the middle of the night, and so a trial is not possible. Jesus must wait until morning to face his accusers. Jesus knows he will die alone, even though he is surrounded by many. His disciples have left him, and those who have arrested him will gladly beat him if he tries to escape. He is taken to the house of Caiaphas, where all the important religious leaders were gathering to begin his interrogation. The chief priests tried to find enough evidence against Jesus to put him to death, but they couldn't find any. Many witnesses told lies against Jesus, but their stories didn't agree.
I heard him say that he was going to tear a temple down.
Yeah, I heard that too. He said he will tear down that temple and build one in 3 days without any human effort at all.
Not even these witnesses could get their stories to match. And so Caiaphas began to question Jesus. But Jesus would not respond. So again, Caiaphas questioned him.
Are you the Messiah, the Son of the blessed God?
I have spoken openly to the world. I've taught in synagogues or at the temple, where all Jews come together. I said nothing in secret. Why question me? Ask those who heard me. Surely they know what I said.
Is this the way you went to the high priest?
Are you not going to answer? What is this testimony these men are bringing against you? I charge you on oath by the living God. Tell us if you're the Christ, the Son of God.
If I tell you, you will not believe me. And if I asked you, you would not answer. From now on, the Son of Man will be seated at the right hand of the mighty God.
Are you the Son of God?
Yes, it is as you say. You will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of the power, coming with the clouds of heaven.
Enough. I don't need any more witnesses. We've heard his blasphemy. We've heard how he claims to be God.
Religious law states that all members of the council must vote when passing a sentence. But in this case, there is no vote, because there is a unanimous decision. Jesus has been convicted of blasphemy and sentenced to death. The only thing left to do is convince Pontius Pilate to order his Roman executioners to carry out the order. Meanwhile, one of the high priest's servant girls spoke to Peter as he sat by the fire.
Hey, I know you. You're one of the ones with Jesus of Nazareth.
I don't know what you're talking about. You must be confusing with someone else.
It was at that time a rooster crowed.
I'm sure you might. The man over there, he's one of them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Some of the others agreed with the girl.
You can't deny you're one of them. I can tell by the way you look and the way you dress that you're from Galilee, just like this Jesus.
And I'm telling the truth. May God punish me if I'm not. I do not know the man you're talking about.
Just then, a rooster crowed a second time, and Peter recalled the words of Jesus.
Before the rooster crows 2 times, you'll have to deny me 3 times.
Peter was crushed by the memory. He broke down and cried more than he had ever cried before. Jesus is marched to the palace of Pontius Pilate. Caiaphas is standing outside the gates with Jesus, the Roman soldiers, and the 2 high priests, where he demands an immediate meeting with him. Pontius Pilate is a Gentile, and therefore the high priest cannot enter his home because it is so close to Passover, and they risk becoming unclean, and therefore unable to eat the sacred meal. So he is bold and requests that Pilate come down to the gate instead. Upset that he had to dress quickly and was met by Roman soldiers, high priests, and a prisoner, Pilate begins to speak.
What charges do you bring against this man?
Caiaphas becomes nervous. He wants the Romans to carry out Jesus' death sentence, but the charge of blasphemy is a Jewish offense. Rome does not care for such things. Pilate does not want to risk his career by allowing the Jews to decide whom he executes or not.
You were not a criminal. Would we have had to give over to you?
Think of yourselves. Judge him by your own law.
But we have no right to execute anyone. He stirs up people all over Judea with his teachings. He started in Galilee and has come all the way here.
He's a Galilean.
Pilate sees a way out of this mess. If Jesus is a Galilean, this matter is better suited for Herod Antipas, son of Herod the Great, who once ordered that all boys in Bethlehem, under the age of 2, to be murdered. Galilee is within Herod's jurisdiction, and he is staying in a palace not far away.
Take him to Herod.
In the early morning hours, Jesus is marched over to Herod Antipas's castle. Once again, Pilate must decide what to do with Jesus. He cannot release him because that would be interfering with Jewish religious law, and Emperor Tiberius has made it very clear that Roman governors cannot do that. More than anything, Pontius Pilate does not want trouble. Finally, he decides to accept custody of a Nazarene.
Are you king of the Jews?
Is that your own idea, or did others talk to you about me?
Am I a Jew? Was it your people and the chief priests who handed you over to me? What have you done?
My kingdom is not of this world. If it were, my servants would fight to prevent my arrest.
You are a king then?
You are right in saying I am a king. In fact, for this reason I am born, and for this reason I've come into the world to testify to the truth. Everyone on the side of the truth listens to me.
Pilate knows that preaching is not a crime, and so he decides to give the crowd a choice. Release the peaceful Jesus or Barabbas, a murderer who truly deserves to be punished.
Shall I release the king of the Jews?
Give us Barabbas! We want Barabbas!
Let him go. You brought me this man as one who is inciting the people's rebellion. I've examined him in your presence and found no basis for your charges against him. Neither has Herod, for he has sent him back to us. He has done nothing to deserve death. I will punish him and release him.
Jesus is taken to the scourging pole. His hands are bound to the top of the scourging post so that he is unable to move. Jesus is lashed several times. Under the laws of Moses, the most lashes a man can receive are 40 minus 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39.
Pilate has told the executioners to lash Jesus, but under no circumstance is he to be killed. Jesus has survived the scourging, but he is dehydrated and is in shock.
All hail the king! All hail the king! All hail the king! Here's your king.
Take him away! Crucify him! Crucify him! Crucify him!
Jesus and the Roman soldiers begin their journey to Golgotha, the hill used as a Roman execution ground.
My lord.
Get away from her, woman! You, help this man carry the cross. Get up! All hail the King! All hail the King! All hail the King!
That's my son! He's my son! Let me through! My son! My son! I am here. I will not leave you. I am here. I will not leave you. Lord, I will not leave you.
I thirst.
You, bring me drink for this man.
While on the cross, Jesus was mocked by people passing by. They laughed and made fun of him.
Haha, you were to tear down the temple, build it back up in 3 days. Yes, that's what you said. Why don't you come down from that cross and save yourself?
Look, he saved others, but God saved himself.
Look at the great Messiah now. And now from the cross, Messiah will believe in you.
Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom.
Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
At noon, the whole country was covered with a deep darkness none had ever seen before. It lasted for 3 hours. At 3 o'clock, Jesus cried out,
My God, why have you abandoned me?
Listen, he's calling for Elijah.
Wait, let's see if Elijah will come bring him down from the cross.
It is finished.
Jesus of Nazareth is dead. He is 33 years old. One of the soldiers near the cross thrust his spear into Jesus' chest to verify his death.
This man really was the Son of God.
A Sadducee named Joseph of Arimathea and Nicodemus, a Pharisee, were 2 members of the council that sentenced Jesus to death. They were also secret disciples of Jesus. Jewish law dictates that a body cannot remain on the cross during the Sabbath.
Your Excellency,
What is it now?
I would like you to hand over to me the body of Jesus, who was crucified this day.
He's dead already?
Yes, Excellency.
Soldier, is it true the king leaves you dead?
Yes, sir, it's true.
Take him then. I'm glad to have this whole thing over with.
My son.
Joseph of Arimathea has taken Jesus' body to his own private family tomb, which is a cave carved out of rock on a nearby hillside. The Jews believe that a criminal's presence in a tomb desecrates it. For these two men to be touching a dead body on Passover makes them unclean and unable to eat the seder. Still, these men show their devotion to Jesus by caring for his body. Joseph and Nicodemus coat Jesus' body in myrrh and aloe. Jewish tradition dictates that all bodies be examined 3 days after death. The tomb will be reopened, and Jesus will be observed on Sunday. Jesus of Nazareth predicted his death and prayed that God would take the cup of sorrow from his lips. Now it is done. The silence of the grave is complete. Alone in the darkness of the tomb, Jesus of Nazareth finally rests in peace.